Welcome at the Business Analysis Method, the model that provides insight in one oversight. The question behind this model is simple. The world is changing fast, and how does your company change along? The world is changing fast. Is it? Yes, it is. Let's first take a look at macroeconomics. After that, let's take a look at mesoeconomics, the industry and the market. And then let's take a look at the cultural differences, the differences between countries. Because those three actually give you insight into how the world is changing. Let's have a look. Macroeconomics are the long-term changes that happen to your company. You cannot influence them, but you need to have insight into them. Social changes, technological changes, economical changes, environmental, ethical, political, legal changes. Changes that happen to your company without you being able to steer. But the social changes do influence the people that buy at your company. The social changes do influence the people that work for your company. The economical changes influences both the people outside as well as inside of the company. Political changes. Insight into this steeple analysis, social, technological, economical, environmental, political, legal, and ethical, gives insight into the long-term changes. Macroeconomics. You need to have insight into the changes that are coming towards your company. The world is changing. This gives you insight. Closer by, the mesoeconomical changes, like the industry analyses, the market analysis, the customer analysis. Changes there also influence your company. And the industry analysis is most of the time done by the five forces by Mr. Porter. The threat of new entrants, the bargaining power of the buyers, the threat of the substitutes, the rivalry among existing competitors. You know the five forces. These give you insight into how the industry is changing and whether it's still profitable for you to enact. Then take a look at your customers. What is happening? What is changing them? And how do they change? Normally, we would used to say that 20% of the customers contribute to 80% of the profits. Not anymore. We now know that 20% of the customers contribute to 220% of the profit. And if you do not have the right ABC, activity-based costing, you'll see that 80% of the customers contribute to 120% of your losses. Interesting insight. So how are your customers changing, and what does that mean for your company? Focus on your competitors. How are they changing? What is their assortment? What are the differences? How do these competitors actually come to your customer and try to lure them away from you? Industry, customer, competitor, and the market analysis. You want to analyze the market to see the changes that will come to your company. Take a look at the aggregated market factors. What is the current size of the market, but also what is the future size of the market? What is the current growth and the future growth? What is the phase in the PLC, the product life cycle? Aggregated market factors give insight into how the market is going to change. Mesoeconomical changes that you need to have insight into because it changes the world around your company. The world is changing fast. It's getting smaller. So there are cultural differences that you have to take a look into because your customers change. Hofstede actually has insight into the cultural influences, like the difference in power distance, the difference between masculinity and femininity, the difference between a long-term or a short-term orientation. You'll find this interesting to take a look at, and especially if you focus on external, if you focus on different countries, you need to have an insight into these cultural differences. The world is changing fast, and it will influence your company. And with macroeconomics, mesoeconomics, and these cultural differences, you'll have insight into the short-term and long-term future. I always say, if you don't think about the future, you ain't got no future. That's why I call this the business analysis method. My name is Alex Klein, and if I can help you with analyzing the external side of the company or the internal side of the company, please contact me at alexklein@profitabilities.eu. Thank you for watching this tutorial on the business analysis method.